Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Brooklyn Tea Party. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome everyone to our May 18, 2025 Brooklyn Tea Party meeting. I'm the president of the Brooklyn Tea Party, Glenn Osera, and we have the governor calling us. Local saying, hi, could you please make sure no drones are in my way for when I fly my broom? You witch. But anyway, which way are we going, huh? Which way are we going? Well, that determines if the people come out and vote. And people need to come out and vote and make sure they vote for the Republican candidates. Or if you're looking on the ballot and you see the Democrat, but no Republican, but then you see the conservative candidate running. Who are you going to vote for? That Democrat? Hell no. You're going to vote for the Conservative Party guy, right? So that's what's going to have to happen to have change in this city. As a homeowner of a three-family home, I know all too well, I run an apartment building apparently. You know, the nice houses with the little peaked roof like a triangle and, you know, regular residential block. I own an apartment building according to the city of New York. I had to have a lead paint inspection. Ooh, what a fun thing it was for a 120-something-year-old house built in 1903. What do you think is buried between the walls of 1,000 layers of paint? Well, I didn't get the report back, but I got a little, hey, you have some lead. Well, what will be my future? Oh, will my house be tented? Who knows? Who knows? There's no kids living there, but yet we have to go through this rigmarole. Now you figured, okay, the city says you have to have an inspector, and this is the law, blah, blah. Fine, send your inspectors down. No, I have to hire the inspector. What a great concept. $925 later for the second and third floor and the common areas. So it's the wonderful, the hallway. And I'm sure they were getting the little gun and they were putting the little radar thing underneath and the scanner and underneath my old stained glass window. They want me to rip out the damn frames, you freaks. Listen, they also, the other year, which I have to do every 4 years now, gas pipe inspection, because I guess one idiot did an explosion and we all have to suffer after 100 and something years of this city with gas going through it and all that. They said, all right, yeah, you have to have a gas pipe inspection. Fine. $599 for that inspection. On top of, you have band metal holding up the pipes. So what are you talking about, band metal? This thing's been holding up the pipes since my father probably put it in 1956 or older.
No, it's not band, it's band metal securing the pipes, but you don't have to change, you don't have to listen to them, it's just again a...
Well, they changed it, it cost me 100 and something. I had a handyman, well, because I had a handyman as opposed to a master plumber that they wanted. Well, they could go to hell on that. But on top of everything else, we have what? Property tax increases and stuff like that. So people gotta wake the hell up and stop voting for status quo, and that is the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has been destroying the city for many years. We could see what's going on in our subways. I mean, the subways are from hell. They want to do congestion pricing so everyone can come up on the subways for what? So you can see freak shows, you can see dead corpses having fun with live people, necrophilia. Whoa, how much fun times are we having here on the subways? It's disgusting. The city is a cesspool because it's run by the psychotic left. And people have to wake up and stop this already. You need common sense people to run for these offices. And you need common sense Republicans to be elected. Or, like I said, if there's no one running on the line, the Conservative Party guy or whoever. But not the psychotic left. The city is just too out of control with all these dumb restrictions. With that being said, we have a candidate here tonight, or this afternoon, that will be running in the 38th City Council District. His name is Quero. Do I get it right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Good job.
Well, I guess that D- in Spanish class paid off.
There it is.
But anyway, so look, we have him speaking in 1 minute, but we need, like I said, common sense people to come and vote. Come out and vote. Vote for those common sense Republicans, because at the end of the day here, the Democrat Party is just totally off the rails, and we cannot continue down this course anymore. So with that being said, I would like to introduce our Vice President for a second, before we introduce Louis, and that is Heshi Tishner.
Everybody, thank you and welcome to our club meeting. And Louis, welcome, thank you for coming. You know, everything in, I believe, especially in this great country, is a miracle. It's a miracle that we stand here. It's a miracle. Right, we need to use our brains to help the miracles work. But recently, this week, I had to bury my mother-in-law. I took her body to Israel, and I told a story. And the story is when the Germans came to, after Kristallnacht, that is the day where all the Germans broke up all the Jewish stores. It's like the Democrats, they come with their power and they get more powerful and they push the little people around. So some Jews just stayed by and just said maybe it'll get better, which it did not. A couple of people ran away. And this nice family, his name is Jacob and Rivka Quero, with their 2 children. They finally found a way to get out with some visas, and they were able to get a visa to America, but they had to get out of Germany. So they got on a train. And as they were traveling on the train, they almost got to the border of Germany. Right before the border, the Germans come onto the train and they check everybody's papers. And if there's something wrong, they either kill you, take you off the train, and put you into a concentration camp. And Jacob was scared. He was getting closer and closer to the border. It was Hanukkah night, the 8th night of Hanukkah, where we light candles, where we look for miracles. As he got to the border, train pulls up, and the Germans come running onto the train. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, all the lights go out in the station. All the lights go out on the train. Everything goes dead. Germans didn't know what to do. And it was the 8th night of Hanukkah, and Jacob was a religious man. And he had some candles that he was going to light for the 8th night of Hanukkah. So he said, this is his opportunity. He took his little 8 candles out by the window. He lit it real nicely. He made the blessing because he was a religious man, a cantor. And his little children stood there, but he was shaking. All of a sudden, the Germans came running. They saw the light. And they saw the candles. And he was shaking. He knew he was dead. The Germans said, we need the candles. They took the candles away from him. And they started checking everybody's papers with the candles. And they went and gave him back the candles, whatever they had left at the end. And he went and passed the border. What a miracle. We have to believe in miracles. We have to believe that this country gets better. We have to believe that what we do, we are focused on. You know, 8 years ago, whatever it was, 2016, we had a great man that was elected President, Donald Trump. By luck. Let's be honest. He didn't really do his job, but he was given to us as a gift. Here you go, guys. I'm giving you a gift. Go use him. Work him. But instead, we tortured him. Both sides made fun of him. Nobody cooperated with him. God said, no problem. You want to be punished? This is my take on this. I'll give you back the Democrats. And what happened? Pandemic got worse. People died. Democrats messed up this country like we've never seen before. God said, look, I showed you the way. Now I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to give you another miracle. I'm going to give you back Donald Trump. Now let me see what you do with him. And he gave him back to us. Everybody thought it wouldn't happen the first time. Everybody thought he would win the second time. And nobody believed he had a chance the third time. We have him back. That means God is showing us the way. It's not that the Republican way is right. It's us. We're the miracle. We have to make things happen. We have to show the way. And Louis, I'm happy that you're going to run as a Republican. I got an F in Spanish.
I got a better mark then.
No, I can't believe it. And he's from Kensington. He's not one of us, you know. We're from the better neighborhoods. May God bless all of you. May God bless this great country. God bless this city. And Louis, we can't wait for you to be elected and join me in the city council.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, gives me a distinct pleasure to introduce you to our guest speaker, Quero. Did I get it right again?
Yeah, you got it
Oh, thank
right.
God. All right. Thank you, Louis. Let me just slide over here.
All
All
right.
right.
Want a good cheat?
Yeah,
You sure?
right there.
Let's go.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Well, I want to thank everyone for that introduction, for Glenn Heshy and the Tea Party Club for the invitation to speak today. Don't worry, we'll bring you to a D- with the Spanish Heshy by the time election rolls around. My name is Quero, and I am the Republican and Conservative endorsed candidate for City Council for District 38, spanning Red Hook, Sunset Park, Tiger Heights, and Bath Beach. I am also a first-time candidate, a project manager for a major American bank, a data scientist, a registered yoga teacher, and a pissed-off resident of District 38. Ladies and gentlemen, our neighborhoods are changing, and not for the better. The streets have never been dirtier. Our shopping avenues are chock full of vacant storefronts, reminiscent of a dying Midwest town. My grandparents actually settled here from Puerto Rico in the 1960s, and I question generally if they would have moved here had it been in the state it was today. The other day, a corpse was sexually assaulted on the subway in my district before being robbed twice. Someone asked me what my campaign slogan, "Bring Dignity Back," even means. I just refer her to that story. You can't even die with dignity anymore. My competitor is a democratic socialist of the worst kind. As crime rates soar, she wants to defund the police and is such an extremist that she voted against autism training for the NYPD. Let's all pause and think about that. She is such a bigot that she would put her own constituents, people like my cousin, relatives of folks in this room, family members with autism at risk, just to prove an ideological point. Absolutely distasteful. I am a volunteer yoga instructor at the United Senior Citizen Center on 5th Avenue, which is in my district. And it's actually in danger of closing due to a sudden rent increase. And there's no money for the rent. When the city needed money for $500 a night hotel rooms for the migrants, they found the money. When they needed money for debit cards for the migrants, they found the money. When they needed money to install fare evading gates that actually did little to prevent fare evasion, there was money. Yet when it came to ensuring the continued operation of a critical organization like the United Senior Citizen Center, there is no money. For the record, my competitor is circulating a petition as her solution to this issue, as if that's going to convince the landlord to change course. Meanwhile, they're ready to sink billions of dollars into the Brooklyn Marine Terminal under the auspices of reviving the port. And when you really just peek under the hood, you really see that this is actually a land grab for private developers. Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman the other day admitted at a recent community board meeting that the port doesn't make any money. And that's when it was run by the Port Authority. An agency, I'd imagine, knows a thing or two about running ports. Now the city wants to take over, and somehow it's going to be viable, right? It's going to be a viable economic project. The fact remains, this project is a huge giveaway to land developers. Out of all of the options considered, they chose the option that calls for 8,000 units of housing, with only 2,000 of them deemed affordable. 6,000 luxury units. And like I said, we're in a housing crisis. I think we're in a shortage, I think, of 100,000 units or something required. So this is just the hypocrisy of that. And then on top of that, the presenter at the last task force meeting offered as contrast that only 6 affordable housing units were added between 2014 and 2020, as if that made this proposal that much more acceptable. Even the socialist proposal to freeze the rent, political candy as far as I'm concerned, will only drive small landlords out of business, forcing them to sell to large developers. The developers in turn will consolidate lots and build more luxury housing only further gentrifying our neighborhood. One can only look at the rent freezes under de Blasio and the rampant gentrification that occurred under his administration as proof. You can even consider overzealous DOB inspections and fines as another way in which the city is trying to push landlords to sell. We cannot stand by while private interests masquerading as social crusaders sell our neighborhoods off to the highest bidder. As part of my campaign, I will ensure that any large-scale commercial industrial expansion in my district will be accompanied with job pledges for the community. And I'll ensure we establish mechanisms to track compliance and make sure that we're getting what we're promised. The days of empty promises are over. I'm going to stop funding I'm going to stop funding the whole ecosystem of do-nothing nonprofits and divert funds to workforce and small business training to ensure that our people are prepared for the economy of tomorrow. I am the only candidate with a comprehensive plan to bolster our small businesses, as well as a proposal that would allow residents to effectively shut down poorly performing schools and bring in a charter school of their choice through a community-led RFP process. Incidentally, Sunset Park High School is consistently rated as one of the lowest performing in New York State. My neighborhood is top in homeless shelters, lowest in school quality and affordable housing. I plan to change that equation. I'm going to lobby for our first ever community center with dedicated space for senior and job training programs. Neighborhoods across our city have community centers with pools where people can take classes, stage performances, something that is severely lacking there. I will push for free subway and bus rides for all senior citizens, as well as a citywide expansion of Access-a-Ride. I would rather see the billions collected from the congestion tax go to help our seniors than go to paying MTA money-taking agency executives and their salaries. My competitor, the current councilwoman, thinks she can solve the world's problems here in this district while ignoring the problems of the people that voted for her. The climate crisis is not going to be solved in Sunset Park. Maybe if she would protest about our current situation as she does about the war in Gaza, we wouldn't be here. The current councilwoman doesn't even have the support of her own party. She rejected the last 3 budgets, so her own party went around her and passed it anyhow. She's so extreme that we'd rather not deal with her, and we're all paying the consequences as a result. Now is not the time for extremism. We cannot let our community, our city, our country be pulled apart by political ideologues. We need elected officials that understand this community and its complex issues and will work for all of its people, not just those that voted for them. Plato once said, one of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. I would say that's probably where we're at today. Now is the time for you all to act. Please be a part of my movement, volunteer, donate, help spread the word, host a coffee clutch. There are many ways to lend a hand. And most importantly, vote for me in November if you can, and help me bring dignity back to my neighborhood. Thank you. Anybody got questions?
Yeah, a couple of questions.
Sure.
I understand, I'm not going to ask you on your opinion on abortion and LGBTIQF, whatever thing it is. But the point is, we do have a problem in this city. And I'm going to ask you straight up. This city of New York, I understand that a woman, I'm not for abortion, but we're allowing the state and the city to pay for stuff that has nothing to do with our residents. And your budget, as it is tight. How do you stop the governor and the mayor and the city council from taking our funding to allow other people from other cities and states to come here to use our services? And most importantly, the transgender thing. We didn't do anything to stop it yet. Why are we stopping it? You live with the president, said it doesn't work. And last question, because I just want to get more than a one shot. You are a city that's not allowing ICE to cooperate with the mayor-lets. They don't let. We need to have the city council cooperate with ICE for illegal immigration. And I'm not talking illegal immigrants. I'm talking criminals who are raping, robbing those illegal immigrants. People who are gang members. Walk into the parts of the city in the Bronx and stuff where they're murdering and shooting and raping our people. I'm not talking a guy who wants a job or working in a store. These people are murderers walking down the street. We need the police to pick their butts up and work with ICE. and you can't stop it, and your mayor and your city council stop it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, criminals belong in jail, right? I think we can all agree on that.